about Dallas, make it hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here, and we're going to be here briefly on tonight because you're going to get a double dose tonight of, I guess, the Big Time Show. I'll be on with you for maybe about an hour, and then at 8:30 Central Time, wherever part of the country in Central Time here, I will be on West Coast, and whoever else there may be there, maybe 4 or 5 of us there, who knows, but I'll be there immediately. So I have to come on my show real quick and just talk real quick briefly, and I'm quite sure that even on the show with West Coast tonight, that you will hear probably a little bit more or even maybe of the same thing, but I won't be the only one like I am now talking about what we're going to talk about very briefly. Hello to everybody to the Big Time Show. Listen, I'm being seen and heard live now on Facebook and YouTube on the Big Time Show pages, also on Twitter, Twitch, and on Instagram as we speak. Hello to those that are on Instagram. Happy birthday, Cedric Morris. Happy birthday, little brother. Happy birthday to you out there on Instagram. What's going on with you? Appreciate you popping in on your birthday. Even though you're a 49er fan, but I guess you can't resist the star as well. So, you know, I already know. So it's Major League pitifulness, if there's such a word, but you guys understand what I'm saying when I say that. It's Major League pitifulness going on in Dallas. High drama at the wrong time, but it's high drama going on in Dallas. It's the stories that seem to never end for my Dallas Cowboys. And here's the funny part: training camp hadn't even started yet, and we can't talk about football because we got so many other pressing issues that will affect the locker room if you don't allow it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it real quick. What's going on, everybody? Yeah. Let me speak to everybody that's here, and then we'll go ahead and get started very briefly about tonight. Let me look and see here. Who I got in here? Who I got going on? Eastside Harold. I mean, front and center. I ain't gonna even say nothing Eastside. It is what it is. Hey, Niecy, how you doing? Timo, how you doing, man? What's going on? Chris Johnson, what's going on? Metris, what's up with you? Terry, what's up? Coach Marv is in the building. Yeah. So hello to everybody on Instagram. I had said it, I already said hello to him. What's going on? Those of you that are on Twitter, hello to you as well. What's going on? I'm sharing. I hope y'all know how it is when y'all come in. Come on, let's share and hit that like button for you, boy, real quick, if you don't mind. I would appreciate it so much if you would do that. Again, I'm going to say this again for those of you. This is going to be very brief because at 8:30, 8:30, I'll be right back on with the West Coast and the crew. I don't know how many of us it's going to be. I don't know if it's just me and West Coast, but I know I'm supposed to be on at 8:30. So I know it's a lot. That's why I'm saying we're going to be very short with my show real quick. And then I'm quite sure we will be talking about this, what I'm getting ready to talk about a little bit later on with West Coast and the crew. But I had to come on because, when you have a crew, you got to give everybody ample time, and then some of the things they say may break some of your thoughts and all that type of stuff. So when you by yourself, you ain't got to worry about that. So all I can do is give my opinion. Let me say this. I'm quite sure by now everybody has saw the latest news that is in Cowboys land. Could be true, could be not, but I'm going to take it from the standpoint that it is true. And just in case you have not heard, it was that there's an article that came out. Actually, the article is old, but it's not new. It actually came out on June the 3rd. I believe I talked about it before, but not in depth. But since it caught fire, it came out again. And the article was about that Coach Mike McCarthy is supposedly fed up with Jerry Jones and his undermining him. That's what the latest news now is in Cowboy land. And let me just go ahead and just start going and crossing the field. First of all, let's go all the way back to the beginning when he first got hired. See, when you're desperate for anything, you will accept anything. When you're desperate for anything, you will accept anything. That's the first thing that really needs to be understood. To make it even more plainer than that, if you allow people to step on you, don't try to flex up now. You see what I'm saying? When they try, but because you want the job so bad, when you let people step on you and you don't stand up, don't try to stand up now because the tone and the pattern has been set. You let people step on you. And so what else do you expect? If you allow them to step on you, if you show your desperation in any area, then guess what? They're going to keep doing it, and then they're going to laugh at you when you try to flex up. It's just that simple. I said that to say this. When Coach McCarthy first got hired here, he was already off. What was the news they heard, if you remember? Coach McCarthy wanted his staff, and Jerry bull rushed them, and we all knew that Mike McCarthy's best attribute was his play calling. That's how he won a Super Bowl in Green Bay. He's an offensive coordinator. So if he was going to be coming in to play, shouldn't you want the head coach's best attribute to be on display? Didn't get a chance that to happen because we all know Kellen Moore was still the offensive coordinator. He was, and I don't care what Coach McCarthy say, there's nowhere in the world you 100% behind it Because the Jones family say, hey, you can have anybody you want. You got to keep this guy right here now. You got to keep him more. No, we can't let him go. We can't let him go. We can't let him go. So we're gonna force him on you. Well, what did they take away? They took away his best attribute, which was calling plays. That's it. He was offensive coordinator. Steven Dallas, he was, because we saw what he was when Kellen Moore was not here. His offense was the number one scoring offense in the league, so it's obvious he knows what he's doing. So, but Kellen Moore was number 1, too, in fairness. But McCarthy is a good offensive coordinator, good play caller. Just didn't run the ball enough as far as I'm concerned, but hey, it is what it is. But regardless of that, going all the way back, you're going back to you generally now, because you let them step over you, you then become a puppet, just like everybody else has been. You're no different than Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett, they said Jerry out, shined him. Jason only was limited, could only go so far before Jerry stepped in and changed or do anything or say anything. Mike McCarthy fell in the same way when he allowed, or I ain't gonna say he allowed, he pretty much that was the only way he gonna take the job. You couldn't get rid of Moore because Jerry Jones didn't want it to happen. So you already come at a deficiency because that ain't what you wanted. Now, Mike McCarthy come out and say for years, oh, we love Kellen Moore. He was a part factor in the job. No, he was not. Stop it. That's why he would come out and say when Kellen Moore was leaving, he would come out and say, if I ran it this way and if I did it and if I want to be in control of the play call, and that's why he took over. Oh, that's what he really wanted to do in the first place. But he'll never get in front of a microphone and say that in the first place. That's the first scratch. Then when you hired him, you were so desperate for a job. Look at the money that he got paid. Look at the money that Mike McCarthy got paid. All these other head coaches that come into the league, they all got more than Mike McCarthy. Guys that come out of college, guys that haven't coached in a while, they all got paid more than him. So you just was so desperate that, number one, you really truly can't have your own staff, number one. Number two, you're getting underpaid because compared to other coaches, you just took. So the Jones family was cheap even to the coach. But my grandmother used to say this. I'm sorry if y'all don't understand this, but this is what she said. If you find a fool, bump his head. See, desperation will make you do some real funny things. It'll make you accept things that you really don't want to accept. And because it's the Cowboys, it's it's the high profile organization, you start taking all this type of stuff. And even to the point where I believe that it is so now, really, to be honest with you, can you really call it disrespect? And I'm talking in terms of that. Look at where he is now. From the beginning, when he got hired to now. Now he just is what a lot of people are saying. He's just a lame duck coach because the expectation is so high. Everybody knows that unless you're one of these, we got plenty of them in the fan base. If you're one of these really, truly optimistic Cowboy fans, you're probably saying we have a Super Bowl roster. You're probably saying we're going to win the Super Bowl. And that probably is the only way that Coach McCarthy probably is going to keep his job. Forget an NFC championship game appearance. Forget all that. I don't think that's going to be good enough. I literally believe the only way that he's going to be able to keep his job is unless, of course, he wins the title. You see what I'm saying? He got punked. Can I say it like this? He got punked out from the beginning. And now he's getting punked out now. And maybe him getting punked out at the end, now maybe if this article is true now, if it's true, then maybe since he already know he got the dough, now he want to get a dose of confidence and a lot of moxie now. And now he wants to say, because I'm taking this talk from the standpoint that it is true. Now he wants to say that he's getting fed up. People inside the organization are reporting supposedly what he has said. Okay? Here's my thing. And I understand you want to have a job, you want to get employed. I mean, you're getting paid millions of dollars. I get that. But when you show or exemplify weakness from the top, it's kind of hard to act like you He-Man or you got so much strength now. Like you an Avenger. No, you're not an Avenger. You one of the villains. You didn't allow these people. You didn't set the tone. And maybe and you know, maybe you, I know some of you saying, well, you can't set no tone because it's Jerry Jones. Jones is the tone setter, but you can't allow people to take away your standards. You just can't. 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. Now look, nice resume. 12 wins, hard to get in the league, and then do it 3 years straight. I believe only one other team had many wins in a 3-year span than the Cowboys. Just one team. One team. That's it. But that ain't good enough. And notice, y'all, I want to talk about just like everybody else. We so far behind with other teams. Do you realize that there are other teams that are strictly talking about football? We have been talking about off the field stuff since Green Bay. We can't even get on the football field and start talking about position battles and all that because of this stuff right here. And forgive me if I'm old school. Again, for those that come in, I'm going to cut this show off early. I had to get with y'all by myself. I am going to be with West Coast at 8:30, so we're about a little over an hour away. I'll be with West Coast tonight and probably some others, and I'm quite sure this is going to come up again, so you get to hear some more stuff. But we can't even get to the field because we got to deal with this stuff. Can y'all imagine? Let's fast forward a little bit. Can y'all imagine the opening press conference of training camp? Y'all know when Jerry and Will McClay and Steven and Coach McCarthy, they all sit up there and start asking all the questions, be about 45 minutes to an hour. Can you imagine what all these questions gonna be, man? What will be football related? I'm quite sure Mike Zimmer probably will be there as well. Well, no, he won't. Mike Zimmer, because they won't usually be there. It's usually the head coach, Steven, Jerry, Will McClay. Can you imagine the press conference, man? Every question is going to be pretty much about off-season stuff. Who's not signed? Who isn't restructured? In Steven's case, do we have enough? And we got to hear the same stuff. Well, we believe in our guys and we believe in the draft. And Jerry going to come up with some outlandish stuff that he probably practicing right now because he know the question's coming. Why haven't you paid that? Why haven't you paid CD? Are you going to pay Michael? This is all the stuff that's getting ready to come about. You understand? Can you? And then they're gonna get the coach Mike Zimmer. Now, excuse me, they're gonna get the coach Mike McCarthy, and Mike McCarthy is gonna have to fake the funk, cause what he really want to say, he's not gonna be able to say. And even if somebody asks him about, there's an article that said you were fed up with Jerry. Do you really believe he gonna say yes, it's true in front of Jerry Jones? No, it's no way. He's gonna bow down again, and he's gonna answer the question in a very corporate, cowboy-like way. and he gonna be a good coach, good corporate type coach. While at the same time, as I said before in other shows, this man, after all this offseason stuff that has went on, the lack of an offseason or not enough action, not enough movement, while he's being the corporate cowboy, y'all know good and well when that man go home, he cussing out everybody. Because this ain't the way that an organization, to me now, this is just me talking, this ain't the way that it's supposed to be. But guess what? Y'all ever heard the term self-inflicted wounds? Well, that's what Mike McCarthy has to accept. Some of this stuff is self-inflicted. I don't know, y'all, how much power he really got when it comes to drafting. We see the war room. We don't hear the noise and the volume. We hear the call that was made to the player after they got drafted, but we don't know the battles. We don't know what they be saying. We don't know the meetings that Mike McCarthy that he's had with Jerry and Steven. We don't know if they got into some art. We don't know. I doubt it though. I know what the outcome was. Mike McCarthy with the short end of the stick, Jerry Jones with all the power. It's just the way that it is. So when I hear an article like this today saying that he fed up, Doc, you about two years too late saying it now. You too late. You too late saying it now. Even if it is true, you too late. This train done been on the track. You headed out. Don't look. I hope you got your bags packed. I hope you got your bags packed. I mean, start, because unless the Cowboys, where the Super Bowl at this year? In Las Vegas? Am I right? Is it Vegas this year? Unless you in Vegas playing in the game, we might as well get ready. We can already start predicting what the offseason gonna look like. We can start getting some of the narratives right now, because we already know how this is going. And I'm speaking for me. I'm not speaking for any one of you guys. I'm just speaking for me. When I see all of this, when I see about Dak and his contract, CD and his contract, Coach McCarthy and all this, and his 1-year deal, Mike Zimmer on a 1-year deal, 39 players on a 1-year deal. I'm trying to figure out, how can I get excited for this season? Because, see, I've always said, and you can go back and look at some of my shows, I've been saying the same thing for 3-4 years. We are truly at a point where the talent level has to override the front office decisions and the coaching staff. I've been saying that for the last 3-4 years. Well, that's where we are now. That the front office is so shaky, and then the coaching staff is, above average, but the players' talent level take over all that, and it kind of puts a Band-Aid on all the other stuff. This is where we at. It's really gonna be on the players now, because look, ain't nobody, have you ever seen this? Ain't nobody on the same page. Jerry and Steven on their page, then go down the list. Well, let's start there. If there was any other, if this was any other situation where the general manager and the owner weren't the same person, the general manager would have been fired a long time ago. Everybody know that. But Jerry not gonna fire himself. So again, Jerry and Steven are on their page. Coach McCarthy is on his another different page. Then here come the players. Some of the players are not on the same page. DeMarcus Lawrence come out and say, we were tired. That's the reason why. We were tired. Michael Parsons come out and say in his pocket, we weren't tired. See, 2 different pages right there. See? 2 different pages. It's not one voice. It's really, I'm worried about the voice. It's not one message. And I ain't never seen an organization, y'all forgive me, y'all have to tell me, I ain't never seen an organization that was off from the front office on down win. Well, win on the level that we're talking about. Cowboys have been on the different pages for years and they still pump out, which is another reason why y'all should really be thankful for your quarterback. But that's another whole story within itself because, hey, we keep pumping out double-digit wins. Take him off this team, we drafting in the top 12 every year. Y'all know that. But that's another whole show within itself. You can't get excited. And I want to talk about the position battle. I can't talk about position battles and all that type of stuff right now. I can't. I can't. I can't get excited. I don't care if contracts are signed. I don't care. How can I get excited? I'm going to let y'all optimistic Cowboy fans, I'm going to let y'all have it this year. I'm not going to knock you down. I'll be cheering for them. Ain't no question about that. I'm going to be cheering for the Cowboys, no question. But I have no expectations. I expect Dak to get us Dak and the offense to stay in the top level of offensive play this year. I mean, they was number 1 last year with, what they had. Pretty much most people are back with the exception of the 2 linemen, which could be a difference by itself, knock you down, but who knows? I expect Dak to get us double-digit wins again. I expect that. But to do what we all want, and that's to get number 6, this ain't how it's done. This is not how it's done. See, how can you be a leader from the head coaching position? Usually a head coach is really where he should be. Pretty much, he should be the voice and the tone setter of the franchise. Mike McCarthy is not there. Which then goes to the term that we've heard, a lot over the last 10 years or so, and that is a leader of men. Can't be leading when everybody know that Jerry Jones is the man. He's the leader. You can't be. You can't be. See, you can't show weakness from the beginning and then expect strength. And then all of a sudden now you want to show strength by, and again, I'm acting like this article is true and it just came out. And I'm coming from the standpoint that the article is true. Remember that. It very well may not be, but there's too many people saying it now. Plus they saying too many executives are saying this is where they get the information from executives that are in there. So, how can you be the leader of men when you are perceived as being weak? The players know that Jerry's stomping all over top of his head too. Shane says, why didn't they fire McCarthy after the playoff loss instead of wasting another season? Because the Jones family, remember now, if you fire him with money left on his contract, you got to pay it. And there ain't nowhere in the world. The Jones family have said that. The Jones have said this. They don't want to pay 2 coaches. That's why, Shane. And to be honest with you, the money that Mike McCarthy is getting paid by Jerry Jones, in Jerry Jones' world, that's chump change. That's chump change. Somebody put it in because I don't want to misquote it. Somebody, if you don't mind, somebody tell me how much Mike McCarthy is getting paid this season. Oh, is that it? $4 million. Coach Marv, I know he on top of it, so I'm going to roll with that. $4 million to Jerry Jones is like the change that people be putting in the Salvation Army bucket. $4 million that to Jerry Jones, a billionaire, that's nothing. So if the organization mean that much and you know he's not the guy, go ahead and find the guy. It's only $4 million. Pay somebody else whatever you got to pay him to get in. That ain't nothing to Jerry Jones. But they so money. I don't want to say money driven. I believe the term, they so money conscious, and you know that because that's how they do the players. They're so money conscious. They won't go spend money to really bring the difference makers in. They're worried about bargain. So of course they're gonna have that same attitude about a coach. That's why, Shane, they didn't fire him. They don't want to pay two coaches. Once you fire him, you got to pay him his money as if he's still here. And then you got to pay a brand new head coach. They don't want to do that. Exactly, Frederick. Penny pitcher. They don't want to do. That's the reason why. It's the same thing. They cheat when it comes to coaches. First of all, let's look at that. Did y'all just see what Coach Mara put up? Let me put this up here. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Look, everybody look at that. I need to know this. This is what I need to know, y'all. Somebody help me. Because I don't have it in front of him because I'm thinking as I'm talking. He's getting paid $4 million this season. Do you understand how cheap that is for a head coach? All right. Here's my question. This when you let people run over you. Watch this. Somebody put it in. What was his first year salary when he first got here? Because see, if all he getting now is $4 million, if you're telling me that he came in the building making $4 million and now he's still 4 years later at $4 million, you don't let people run over you. I could go on in the show right there. Somebody, hey, B-Bird, thank you for the $5 super chat. Let me put that up. The Jones would not hire an alpha male as a head coach. They only hired two, Jimmy and Bill. Those two wouldn't allow them to mellow like they want to. And of course, Jerry Jones didn't like Bill Parcells. He didn't like Jerry Jones, y'all, because he didn't like Jimmy Johnson. You know that because he fired him after winning 2 straight Super Bowls. What kind of mess is that? He was an ego trip. I want the credit. Jimmy want the credit. I want the credit. Jimmy want the credit. Fired him. What coach do you know won 2 straight Super Bowls and got fired? Please understand. There it is. This is why he ain't worth a dime. Thank you, Coach Mar. There's my question. 5 years. This is when you know you're desperate. 5-year contract for $20 million. Let's put that in perspective. Do y'all know how much they paid Andy Dalton when he came to Dallas? $5 million to beat Dak's backup. Wait a minute. You gonna sit and tell me that the backup quarterback had a bigger salary than the coach? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But see, that's look at Coach Ma with the jewels. Look at this. Jimmy Johnson made $5 million a year 35 years ago. Do y'all understand how bad this looks? Andy Dalton made more money playing a backup quarterback than the head coach. The backup quarterback. See, so again, I come to you and say this. Whose fault really is it? If you let people step on you, see, your desperation made you look kind of crazy now. Coach McCarthy, you making $4 million coming in the building, and you making $4 million going out of the building with your 12-win seasons, and now you're at $4 million. And excuse me, let's ask this question. Let's ask this question, y'all. Somebody, I need the research people to help me out because it's just coming to me now. What did Kellen Moore make as an offensive coordinator his last year in Dallas? Y'all, Reberg, $2 super chat. Reberg says, I can get it up there real quick. Reberg says, that's on McCarthy for selling for that sucker. Exactly. And so, how do these folks really look at you? I mean, you'll never know because, you know, Jerry is so media savvy that he ain't gonna never, you know, put Coach McCarthy out there like that. He's too professional for that. But boy, I sure like to be a fly on the wall when the camera's not on and see what he really be saying. Coach Marv said that he's the lowest paid head coach in the NFL. Mike McCarthy. Somebody look up Kellen Moore and see what he made in his last year. That'd be interesting to me. As an offensive coordinator, I would love to know because they had to keep him here, remember? Because Kellen Moore was being pursued with other jobs and other remember Boise State wanted him, and Jerry had to fill his pocket up more to keep him on staff. Matter of fact, he did that with Dan Quinn. Yeah, wait a minute now. Thank you, Coach Marv, $2.5 million. Dan Quinn was getting paid more than that. Let somebody help me right there. Because I think they had to pay Dan. What was Dan Quinn's final salary last year in Dallas? The stuff just flowing in my head right now. I just want to see the total. If we gonna do this, let's just gonna do it right. Just the total disrespect everywhere. I mean, but really, is it disrespect when you don't stand up for yourself? $3 million. Are you sitting here telling me? Let's just stop right there. Dan Quinn got paid $3 million, and your head coach only got paid $1 million more. Man, the Jones family is look. They are beyond Dollar General. Walmart costs more than this. Good Lord. I mean, they really are on a flea market budget with players, with coaches. And you wonder why? And you wonder why people won't, forget that. Free agents won't sign it. They know they cheap. Now they all on a 1-year deal. So what does that tell you? Okay, let's just say, for instance, that the coaching staff will be fired. Since they don't like paying. Shoot, who the coach? I heard people talking about Bill Belichick and all that. Bill Belichick, are you crazy? Bill Belichick ain't coming here for no chump change just for the love of the game and all that kind of stuff. He'll make more money doing being an analyst than coming here to Dallas. You gonna go try to get one of these little cheap coaches from college. Thank you. That's what I thought, Metris. That's what I thought right there. That's what I thought. Because Dan Quinn was pursued for the last 2 seasons. In order to keep him, Jerry had to give him a raise. I thought he was getting paid $5 million myself. That's what I had heard. I don't know. If it's $3 million, if he was getting paid $3 million, that's worse. That's bad. Because your head coach only got paid $1 million. But if Dan Quinn was making more money than Mike McCarthy, I rest my case. I'm just saying. The more you keep talking, and I'm trying to get the football. I'm trying so hard. I can't get the football. I can't get to it. I can't get the football because this is what we got to deal with. So the Jones family we already know they ain't gonna get no Bill Belichick type coach now. That ain't gonna happen because Jerry don't want that, that type of star power from his head coach where it outshines him. Bill Belichick is the type that, he's from Parcells. He's from the Parcells tree. Jerry Jones don't want nothing like that in here. Jerry Jones don't want no Jimmy Johnson type coach. They don't want that. It's ridiculous. So what he gonna do? Probably go get this is pure speculation off what I'm talking about now, but he'll be some young coach that'll just be happy to say, oh my God, I'm a cowboy. I'm the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, then he gonna get somebody that he can run over, somebody that he can use as a puppet. It's just that simple. Somebody's not gonna give him no trouble. He don't want no personality bigger than his, which is probably the reason why we ain't won. Because the type of coach that's needed, these yes guys only get you so far. The Belichicks will win a world championship. The Jimmy Johnsons, they get you a world championship their way. With the Mike McCarthy way, shoot, he ain't got a way. They dictate to him their way. How much real input does he have? Forget Jerry and Steven. How much input does he have with Will McClay? Let's throw that one up. How much really does he have? How much power does he really have? How much influence does he have really over Will McClay? Because the only reason why I'm saying that is because you get to get the players that you want. Y'all really believe that he's really the final say so? I mean, I'm not talking, we all know Jerry and Steven are the final say so who get drafted. We know that. I'm saying, but how much power does he really get to have? I mean, how much fight is his fight worth? It's almost like going into a boxing ring with a heavyweight and you a bantamweight. That's what I see Mike McCarthy as. He's a bantamweight. You going against heavyweights, you're going to get knocked out. But on TV, you're a heavyweight. I'm not surprised by what I saw in the article. And for those that just coming in, there was an article that came out and basically said that Coach McCarthy is now fed up with Jerry Jones undermining him, which is another whole. Let's look at that real quick. How is he undermining him? How is he undermining him? Let's start with number one, decisions. He not undermining him. Well, let me take that back. I was just about to say something. I'm gonna take it back. Let's say, How many of y'all believe that Mike McCarthy really does want to dibble and dabble in the free agency pool? Because he's smart enough to know, look, I got 12 wins 3 straight years. All I need is 1 or 2 guys to take us over the top. Do you really believe that Mike McCarthy don't want to go, not even investigate it? Instead, he got to come out and say, hey, you know, I'm in player development. Shut up. You ain't in no player development. You got all world players there that you know can get you over the hump. You don't got to do a whole teamwork. You need 1. But you got to take the side of everybody else because Jerry done put it out there. We ain't buying nobody. We can get 3 players for that 1 price. We ain't gonna spend it on 1 guy. We can get 3. What Mike McCarthy say? And then keep in mind, he come from Green Bay where they sign free agents. See what I'm saying? It's not your philosophy, but you're a good guy. You're a good yes guy. Whatever way the wind blowing out of Jerry's mouth, that's the way you gonna flow with it. I get it. Stop it. He ain't say nothing. I guarantee you that. I bet you he did, but he got shot down. He got shot down. You know he wanted to get. You talking about? Well, we need a running game. We want to run. Yes. I mean, come on now. Thank you, B Bird. Y'all really think that watch this. Y'all really think that Mike McCarthy wanted Trey Lance? Or was that just a Jerry Jones move? It's already been known. It wasn't even a Stephen Jones. It wasn't even on the same page with Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones didn't want Trey Lance. It was strictly a Jerry Jones move. So Trey Lance was forced on Mike McCarthy. He didn't want Mike McCarthy. The truth be told, Mike McCarthy loved Cooper Rush more than he loved Trey Lance. Everybody know that. But when you let people keep running over you like a truck, guess what happens? Now you fed up. How's he undermining you? Could it be the decision making? Watch this. The Cowboys are known because they put it out there that the ones that are getting paid, that's the ones who play. No matter how good they backups are. Even though they may be better, we gonna force this thing on. Ain't nowhere in the world LVE was supposed to be on the field more than some of the other guys that were behind them. But because they paid LVE money, and LVE couldn't do hardly nothing, and we knew it was guys that were behind them, and there were better linebackers in the free agency pool. They said we paid him, he got to play. That's kind of undermined. Wouldn't you say? Follow the money. Follow the money. Maybe he was undermined on that. We'll never know because they ain't gonna give us that type of detail. I'm just saying the report says he's upset because Jerry is undermining him. I'm just asking the question, how? I mean, in what ways could he undermine him? Maybe it's in the press conferences. Maybe it's the press conference. Mike McCarthy says this. Jerry gets the microphone and says that. And they're off the same page. Maybe that's what it is. Which ain't nothing new because Jerry been doing that for 30 years. This ain't nothing new. But my point is, if this article is true, and again, I'm running with it. I'm saying, I'm talking from this standpoint as if it is true. It very well, because you know they're gonna shoot it down in a couple of weeks when they go to auction art anyway, whether it was true or not. We know they lie. See what I'm saying? They ain't no doubt about that. We know they lie. So, but I'm taking it from that. Like, if it is true, Doc, Coach, you too late now. You too late. You too late. You can't say nothing now. It's too late. Now you look even more weak because what you're saying now, you could have said it a while back. Don't say it now. Season ain't even started yet. And let me say this, and this just big time talking. This just Doug Brooks talking. Let me say this. See, let me say this. I at first when I saw it, I said no, we'll wait until whatever. But let me say this, y'all. If this is true, then this comes into play. We have, I believe, the bye week is in week 7, I believe. Let me look at it. Let me go on and tell y'all now. If this is really true, I got the super chat, B Bird. Thank you. Thank you again, sir. B Bird says Jones just want coaches that's begging for the job. There's plenty of them. Let me look at this schedule, because I'm going to say something again, something that I refused to say at first, but I'm going to say it now. If this is true, we got week 7 is the bye. You let the Cowboys start off slow. And let me say what slow means. Because, see, they already got their head coach on the sideline. That's my example. See, everything already set up. Everything's already set up. It's set up. Mike McCarthy leaves, guess what? Coach Zimmer takes over the head coaching spot. Guess what? You still good on the offensive coordinator. Why? Because Brian Schottenheimer is there. See what I'm saying? It's already set up. So, here we go. We got 7 weeks. The Browns, let's look at it again. Swain, is Zimmer a yes guy? Really, he's not. But they're going to need the head coach to finish out the season. What I'm getting ready to say now, he's the perfect fit. Zimmer would be. All right, Cleveland, week 1. Saints and Ravens at home, weeks 2 and 3. The Giants on the road. The Steelers on the road. Then week 6, Detroit at home. Let me tell you something. You let the Cowboys be 2 and 4 starting out. Can y'all imagine the drama that will go if the Dallas Cowboys are 2 and 4 heading into the bye week, or even less? Y'all think that folks talking about us now? Oh my God! Can you imagine? So I'm gonna say this: if this article is true, he ain't gonna make the bye week. He gonna get fired on the bye week. The Cowboys need to be just what I just said. The Cowboys need to be about 3 and 3, or better, for them to calm this down. If the Cowboys are 1 and 5, 2 and 4, going into the bye week of week 7, and watch this, the very next week, that's the 49ers in San Francisco. If this article is true, and if the Cowboys perceive it in particular, if Jerry Jones believes that this stuff is true, it done ticked him off, because he got a huge ego. Let me tell y'all something. If it's true and the Cowboys get off to a bad start, if they are anything less than 3 and 3 at the bye week, Mike McCarthy will be fired at the bye week. Why the bye week? Because it gives Mike Zimmer, who will be the head coach if Mike McCarthy gets fired, it gives him 2 weeks to get ready for San Francisco. That's really all the coach needs. They doesn't need less than that. Brian Schottenheimer, who's already on the staff, who is listed as offensive coordinator as well, he's listed as the offensive coordinator, and Mike McCarthy is the one that calls the plays when it just don't make any sense, because we all know it's Mike McCarthy's offense. And he's the one that said, if you call it, if you install it, you call it. In other words, if you're installing the plays, you call the plays during the game. So this is Mike McCarthy's offense. However, since Schottenheimer's been there for the last 2 years, it's not a bad, easy, it's not a horrible transition because he's already there. The language is there. You ain't got to change nothing. Brian Schottenheimer is an experienced play caller, offensive coordinator in his own right. He just steps right in and calls the play. This thing is already set up. It don't look good for Coach McCarthy, especially if this stuff was true. Especially if this stuff is true. It's already set up. Mike Zimmer will be the head coach and defensive coordinator, as he was in Minnesota. Brian Schottenheimer will be the offensive coordinator. And Mike McCarthy gone. You let the Cowboys start off slow. And I'm telling y'all, if this article is true, our coach may not make it to the year. That's all I got. All right. Again, for those, I'm quite sure I'm going to have to talk about this in just a little bit. I'll be with West Coast and crew in about another 32, 33 minutes. I'll have it on my page again. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to get off here. If y'all can come back, Hey, Eric, I see you, brother. Appreciate you popping in. Y'all can come back. I'm quite sure that whoever's on the show with West Coast and myself, I'm quite sure they're going to have plenty to say about this, and you can hear what they have to say. But here, I just wanted to come by myself because I ain't want to be interrupted. It's Mike McCarthy's fault. It's like this. It ain't Jerry, but Jerry ain't changed. See, that's one thing about it. Jerry has not changed. Jerry been this way since the Jimmy Johnson days, in which he fired him after winning 2 Super Bowls. Jerry has not changed. He is what he is. He's not gonna change. He is what you saying now. This is Jerry. That's not it. The problem is Mike McCarthy is really not built like that. But he had to become that way to be a Dallas Cowboy coach. And if it was really in you, has to come out of you. You can't keep being this way. So I'm saying because it's just going to eat you at the core. It had to come out. Now it's coming out because he ain't really built that way, y'all. He's not built that way. But he sure looking like that. He looking like it. I don't like it. All right. So I saw you, Coach Mar. Coach Mar probably over there bubbling. This is the only phone call I'm gonna have because I'm gonna do this with Coach and then we're gonna get out of here. All right. Let's see what Coach Marv got to say about this because actually he's been talking about this for a while now, actually. So I think it's only fair that person that I know been talking about it. I'm gonna let him have his say and then we're gonna get out and I'll be with you guys. I'll be with you guys in just a minute.
Hello.
All right, Coach, you got it.
Yeah, right quick. I understand you got to go big show. I'm just gonna cover just a point that people don't realize. If Mike McCarthy, I think me and Boss talked about this. I talked about this well back, and you could be documenting on I had on Twitter told people that this lame duck stuff is not a good thing to go and people weren't talking about it. It's crazy now people start to talk about it. When I mentioned last Saturday about the things people didn't talk about is the thing that should worry you. Now it's starting to come out that this is a focus now about him being a lame duck coach. This is the crazy thing, Big Show. If he win the Super Bowl, he still might not be in Dallas. Or if he did come back to Dallas, he's still gonna be low ball. He's not gonna get the $14 to $15 million contract that the Harbaugh signed. Harbaugh signed for what they $15, $16 million a year.
Yeah.
I think Mike Tomlin's getting signed an extension making $14 million a year. The top coaches are making $14, $15 million a year. This guy is making $4 million a year, and he is the lowest paid coach. The only coach that was making less than him was the Cleveland coach, and the Cleveland coach, I think, just got an extension, so he's the lowest now.
Yeah.
The lowest paid coach, and across the board, all their coaches ain't making no money. There is no money in Dallas with coach's salary.
Yeah.
This is why I try to tell people. We have a $1 billion organization, the richest organization in the book. And understandably, I understand doing it through the draft. That is longevity. You can do it. You can save money with marginal players. What you do is, Big Show, you pay your core, right?
Yeah.
And then all the other guys that are marginal, you use your drafting and your coaching ability to make sure you can change those guys out and don't miss a step. That's what Kansas City does. They pay their core, then the other guys, if the linebackers get to a point, they got the set of guys to come and they get those guys out. They don't have to pay when they pay their core. But we don't, listen, what philosophy we got? If you're going to pay your core and you're going to do it this way, you got to invest the biggest and most dominant money into your scouting department and your coaching staff.
Yep.
That's why the Kansas City got the best coaching staff. That's why it took a long time to get the enemy out of there. That's why their defense quality is not leaving. These guys are making big time money and they're invested into their coaching staff to make good money, and they're good so they can keep the payments down because they can get quality out of everything on the field.
Yeah.
But okay, we're doing it the drafting way, but we're not paying our core because we did sign we ain't got a core signed up yet. Right?
Yeah. No. We ain't
invested in the coaches. Why are we doing the Dallas? But only thing we doing in Dallas is keeping a lot of soap opera stuff going on, and we're keeping a lot of stories going on. But this is not what football is about. And now let me give you a nugget to all the Cowboys fans. If you got the sentence going on like it's going on, this is why McCarthy was talked to when you did that thing about Michael Parsons on the other day. Mm-hmm. This is why Mike McCarthy might have been feeling a little bit disturbed as well. After that, he started feeling even more disturbed because the reason why Mike Parsons is talking to him like they're individuals, like they're teammates, because he understands that you are nothing to the Cowboys. They only got $4 million invested in you. Mm-hmm. You cannot stand in front of that podium in front of people and talk to them by being dedicated, and they know that you're the lowest paid coach in the league, in the biggest organization of football, and they're looking at their contract. You cannot be a person that stands and leads those men. And wow. I say this to Cowboy fans. We don't need a play caller in that. We need a true leader of men to keep the focus and the focus on football because we got so many distractions.
Yeah.
If you want to be a play caller, be an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But if you want to be the head coach, you have to promote confidence and toughness and power, not fear and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Look at the first playoff game. What he said? We were scared. Didn't he say that?
We weren't prepared.
Who that falls on?
He said we weren't.
Falls on the leader of your men.
He said we weren't prepared to play.
We wonder why in Green Bay we just were not. It ain't had nothing to do with talent against Green Bay. We was not ready to play.
Yep.
And this is why you are not ready to play, because you have a guy, if he don't have no respect for himself, how can he lead grown men and make them be dedicated to something? And they know you done got low ball. And this is the main thing I'm leaving with this. All of us all the content creators, everybody. We have gotten spoiled and thinking 12 victories and 12-5. It's going to be easy because we got Dak Prescott and we got this and that. Remember, in the NFL, the talent level between teams is minor. It ain't like it's over. Well, this team got way more talent than the other team. It's minor. Listen, NFL. That's why I say any given Sunday. And if you have any bump in the road with 39 guys and a whole coaching staff on 1-year contract, any sign of problem, everybody's going to start going for self-preservation. Wow. And then you're going to end up not even in the playoffs.
Yep.
Watch what I tell you now.
Yep.
If it goes bad, we remember Philadelphia. Philadelphia had plenty of talent. But when that locker room and everybody started going different directions, loss after loss after loss after blowout loss after loss.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. And that can happen in Dallas very easily.
And quickly.
Because this is a volatile situation.
And quickly.
And the only way it's going to work, it got to go perfect. But if it goes a little bit astray and it gets, because if it gets bad and he has to rein that team in, how can he do that? And you're on a 1-year contract and you're the lowest paid guy. Yep. How you think they're going to look in your face and respect that you trying to rein them in?
Yep, exactly.
That ain't going to work.
Nope.
So we can have these hopes and dreams, but I don't understand it. And I think the Cowboys can't be crazy not to know this. There's a reason why there isn't no money being poured out to make sure they're solid. I don't think they're crazy enough to think that'll work. But they got another reason, and they ain't going to come out. But you know something? As my mom always say, what don't come out in the wash, will come out in the rich. Mm. Appreciate the big show, and I'll be listening to you, brother.
All right, I appreciate you, Coach. Come on with me with West Coast in a few more minutes. Thank you.
All right, brother.
All right. Some of y'all wonder how you get my number. Well, Coach got my number, so he got my call-in line. I didn't put it up there on purpose. Number one, I didn't put it up because I didn't feel like embarrassing people like Eastside, who I know want to call in. I ain't want to deal with him at all. Hang up. So I'm going to save him that embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? Coach Marv, I really even opened up the line. Coach Marv called in, but I didn't mind Coach calling in because, see, Coach has been saying this stuff I know. Like I said, this article actually came out on June the 3rd. But for some reason, it came out today, the same article, and it started a firestorm everywhere. And so once we saw that, you know, every content creator just about had to say something. So I said, let me go and get my thoughts out. And then when I'm on West Coast, you know, everybody going to have their thing to say. And pretty much I'm going to be saying the same thing. So I hope you guys come back with me at 8:30, about another 21 minutes from now. We'll be on in just a few more minutes, and we'll continue this talk. All right, I appreciate y'all for hanging with me. Thank y'all for this little time. I may even talk about this even on Saturday. The next time I'll be by myself will be Saturday at 3 o'clock Central Time. Saturday, 3 o'clock Central Time. Until then, most of you know I'll be with probably West Coast during the morning time or afternoon time, depending on what part of the country you're in. 12:30 Central Time. So if you're on the West Coast, it's 2 hours before Eastern Time, an hour before, all that type of stuff. So come on, hang with me. We'll try it again because this stuff crazy, man. Y'all realize we can't talk football. We can't. We cannot talk football because of it. I mean, and when they get there in Oxnard, they ain't gonna be talking football. They're gonna be talking about this stuff. Contracts, extensions, coaches on 1-year deals, Dak not paid, CD not paid, Michael not paid, resetting the market and why do you don't want to reset the market, and why do you feel like you got to pay less to, you see, all this stuff is going to be talked about. We can't even get the football. We can't get the football. We just can't. Because of stuff like this. All right. Appreciate y'all. I'm out. Thank you for those that have been with me on Instagram. Appreciate you. And we're going to get on out of here. Thank you for all those that popped in. Listen, come on back with me. All y'all, if y'all can. Come experience my foolishness with West Coast and the crew. Y'all come hang with me, and then we'll probably continue this talk. All right. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you either later in a few more minutes, or I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll come on tomorrow. All right, I'm trying to get my stuff here. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. This has been the one and only, the Big Time Show.